Switch chat room, take 1.
Do you pray as much as you would like to?
If I'm being honest, no.
No.
No, I wish I prayed more.
Maybe not as much as I would like to, but I am working on making a change and making it a priority.
For me, I would say no. I know that I do pray over a lot of big things in my life, but I need to be more intentional with praying about everything in my life. So all the small details, literally just anything about my day or how I can be praying for other people.
I think I just get caught up in like the hustle and bustle of life and kind of forget that prayer is such an important part of our like spiritual walk and just like having relationship with God, and then just trying to involve Jesus in like everything that I do by praying and like talking through things.
Taking the time and not just something that I do like in the morning when I wake up, or like just to have that constant conversation. Yeah, be more intentional in that prayer time.
When do you find yourself praying the most?
Definitely through difficult times.
Yes.
Through everything, it's just like, God, like, where are you? Like, what am I doing? What are you doing? Why am I at this place? Why are they doing this to me? And it's just like a consistently just like cry for help.
If I don't know where I'm going next, like asking for guidance is probably one of my biggest things, is because as I'm entering like a new stage of life, I'm always wondering, what do I do next? And so I guess that's just one of the things that I find myself praying about a lot.
For me, it's definitely when I'm unsure. There's a whole lot of things that, are happening, and it's like, I've never done this before. It's just things I've never experienced before. Asking for guidance, direction, strength, wisdom, maturity.
Sometimes, when I'm going through a difficult situation or there's a big change coming up, like that's like my focus on prayer and all that stuff. But when things are good, the intensity of prayer or how often I do it is less. And I feel like it's something that needs to be constant, whether I'm doing well or actually just asking, for help and guidance and all those things.
Have you ever questioned why we pray?
I think it was never about like why I prayed, but how I prayed, and just like making it super formal. Am I supposed to quote Bible verses? Am I supposed to say my prayers a certain way? And just realizing that prayer is a fancy word for just talking to God and just communicating with a friend.
I think big picture of like why I pray is because I feel my dependence on God. Like I feel like in every aspect, I feel like the main thing that I have in my mind is, okay, so he knows everything. He knows me. He knows like every aspect of my life. And I just have to depend on him. So I guess that's also for me, like prayer, like when I pray is my dependence on him, but also prayer is also a way to get strength and all those things. So
I feel like a big part of praying is knowing the relationship. Like it's not necessarily a servant master type of thing. We're friends of God. So, like it's just having a conversation. It's not supposed to be something that you feel so much pressure to do. Like if I don't do this right, I'm in trouble. Like if you know the relationship, like we're friends of God. So it's like, just like I'm talking to you guys. It's a conversation, so.
Do you think God can change his mind in response to our prayers?
I would say no. I think that the farthest that would really go is more like the whole yes, no, not yet situation. Because we, ask for things that we're not ready for. I can definitely give examples from my life of that, but we definitely ask for things that we're not ready for. But for the most part, I believe that it's more of a not yet type of thing.
I believe with every decision that he makes or every choice that he gives us and every blessing, it's intentional. Everything that he gives us is intentional. So how could he just switch it up on us, I guess, if I'm taking that question correctly?
When we pray, we're praying to the God who knows the bigger picture of things and knows the outcome of things. And while he hears us and he cries with us or he celebrates with us, he knows what the next season is going to bring. As much as he hears our prayers, he knows what's going to happen, and that's not going to change because he knows what's best.
He is constant, and he has you guys have mentioned, like, he has a plan, like, he doesn't change his mind and he knows what's best. I think our, like, job is to trust in that.
So something that we believe is that God's character and nature is consistent. That doesn't change. But something that prayer does is it changes us. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, God, he's always intentional, always consistent. He's never changed, like the way that he really loves us and how he listens to the things that we pray for. But you know, the more that we do it and the more that we seek his wisdom, you know, it's like that definitely shapes us more as people.
Something that's really stretched my prayer life is praying for people who've hurt me. Something that I've noticed that the more that I pray for those people and for the situation, like it softens my heart. So like I can see and feel like the change happening in me because of how I've taken it and surrendered it to God in prayer.
Yeah, and in a world that's constantly changing, I feel like it's really cool that God is constant, so we can depend on him.
What do your most vulnerable prayers look like?
One of the things I have had to talk to God about for the past few months is definitely just break down my pride, because in a season in my life where I'm learning something new, like every second of the day, you know, sometimes it's really easy to get those thoughts like, man, I'm not skilled enough, I'm not good enough to be here. You know, it's like you really have to realize and remember that, you know, God, he places every single one of us in certain seasons and moments in our lives that even if we don't realize it, it's going to be something that we take with us in our future. So it's like, definitely, I know it's easy to get in a place where you feel like this isn't for me, this is not, you know, something I should be doing, but it's really all about remembering that God is always intentional about where he puts us and that it's going to matter down the road.
A lot of them happen in my car. And I think for that, what that looks like for me is understanding that everything that I've done, everything that I said, everything that I've thought, like God already knows. So like, why not confess that to him? Like, why not talk to him and why not ask for forgiveness and why not talk through it? And I think that was just a big breakthrough for my prayer life, was understanding that God already knows everything, but he wants to talk to you about them and he wants you to have that relationship and have that vulnerability aspect in your time of prayer with him.
You know, he's interested in what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And like you said, like he knows, but he wants to hear that from me. And also I think that shows like my trust in him in a way, because I am actually expressing that. I feel like those vulnerable prayers are really special, because at the end of it, it's like, wow, God shows up in one way or the other.
What's something new you want to try based on this conversation?
I know I pray over the big stuff, like a lot of times in my life, but I need to pray over the smaller details in my life.
No holding back, because it's just like, I think we pretty much all said it some way, like he already knows what's going on inside of our minds. So it's like, what's the point in like trying to be cool about it and like skip over stuff, you know? Like he already sees like every single part of our hearts, our minds, our thoughts, all of it.
I think it's just, for me, involving God in everything with prayer, even if it's just like the little things versus like the big things, just like praying about everything, that just like having that connection with God, like every minute of every day just like becomes like consistent. And when it becomes a habit,
that I can talk to him in many different ways and doesn't have to look always a specific way.